Namaste everyone, and welcome to variation 3 of the prenatal sun salutation Surya Namaskar. The variation 1 and the variation 2 are the Hatha lunge styled Surya Namaskar, where we start at the front of the mat and finish at the front of the mat. In variation 3, we start at the back of the mat. So have 2 blocks and a towel for padding for the knees if you need it, and let's start. So we start at the back of the mat, and I've placed my blocks at the back of the mat because I may need them for Malasana, which is the low yogi squat, especially if the heels don't reach the floor. So start at the back of the mat in Tadasana with the feet hip width or wider depending on space and your need for stability. Hands to the sides or heart center. Inhale, stretch the arms out to the front or to the sides, up to the ceiling. Exhale, Uttanasana, modify, bend the knees, forearms to the thigh. Look at the flow. If you need the blocks, use them. Otherwise, hands on the floor, sit into Malasana squat. Now for some people, you can reach the heels down, and if you can, then reach the heels down to the mat. If you cannot reach the heels to the floor, then you can place the blocks underneath the heels. Inhale to lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale, release the hands to the floor and walk your hands forward, lower the knees onto the padding or the mat. Come into an all-fours position, hands and knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach back into downward facing dog. Lift the hips, reach up and back. If your heels touch the blocks, then you can adjust your feet so the heels are closer to the mat. If down dog is not comfortable, then you can take child's pose as a modification. 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you can opt to bend the knees or have the feet mat width apart, and lower the knees to the mat. Take a wide kneed child's pose to rest. Hips to the heels, forehead to the mat or a tower of fists, or even use a block underneath the forehead if you need. Stretch the arms forward, come into an all-fours position. Inhale here. Exhale, walk the hands back, lift your knees, come into Malasana. Use the blocks underneath the heels if you need to. If you prefer to sit on the block, you can sit on the block as well. So if the heels touch the floor, even if they don't, if you prefer to sit on 1 or 2 blocks, you can sit on the block. Palms touch, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to the floor, block support if you need it. Push the feet down to lift the hips, bring the forearms to the thighs. Look forward, inhale, raise the arms up towards the ceiling, and exhale, hands to heart center. Release the hands, 1 palm on your belly, 1 palm on your heart, and take a moment here. And gradually open the eyes as you release the hands. So there you have it. That was variation 3 of the prenatal sun salutation, the prenatal Surya Namaskar. You can repeat about 3 to 5 rounds of this flow because it's quite an easy or an accessible flow. It develops strength in the legs, especially when you have to lift up from Malasana into that modified forward bend. So I quite like this variation. It's different as compared to the first 2 variations. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you everyone. Namaste.